I'm Emily, and today I'm going to show you how to make an ooey gooey cinnamon roll cake. To make this cake, start by letting the yeast bloom. Mix the yeast with warm water. Aim for body temperature, so it doesn't feel either hot or cold when you dip your finger in. Then let it sit for about 5 minutes and... Isn't that crazy? Now we're going to mix melted butter, sugar, egg, and warm milk. The milk needs to be warm or it will make the butter chunky. Add the yeast mixture, and then half of the flour. Once it's all mixed together, we're going to add the rest of the flour. Now we're going to knead it for about 5 minutes, and then leave it to rise for an hour. I like to put my dough in a bowl in the oven, leaving the oven turned off but with the light on to make it toasty warm to encourage the dough to rise. 1 hour later, and the dough has risen and it's soft and sticky. Smack the dough down and then roll it into a large rectangle. Cover it with melted butter and cinnamon sugar. And then roll it up as tightly as you can from one long side to the other. Use a sharp knife to cut it into 14 rolls. Grease 2 9-inch pans and put 7 rolls in each. I'm using cheesecake pans because they're so easy to open and get the cinnamon rolls out after baking. Leave them to rise for another 45 minutes until they look like this. Bake the cinnamon rolls at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 to 20 minutes. To see what happened on my first attempt at baking these, watch the blooper at the end of this video. Leave the cinnamon roll cakes to cool while you make the frosting. Mix cream cheese and powdered sugar and add a few tablespoons of milk. We're trying to make a pourable glaze, not a thick frosting. If it's too thick, add more milk and stir again. Keep adding milk until you get a nice pourable consistency. Use 2 spatulas to lift one of the layers of cinnamon rolls onto a platter or plate. Pour half of the cream cheese frosting over it, letting it drip down the sides. Place the other cinnamon rolls on top and pour the rest of the frosting over them. Ta-da! Go to BritishGirlBakes.com for the full recipe. I made this cinnamon roll cake for the first time in someone else's kitchen. Look at all the settings on her oven. I had no idea which one to choose, so I guessed. Big mistake. The cinnamon rolls didn't really rise and they burnt on the top after just 15 minutes. Turns out I set the oven to grill or broil instead of bake. Whoops! Practice makes perfect. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more cake tutorials every week.